everybody, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I've missed you. If you can hear the sound of the rain in the background, that's courtesy of Storm Dennis. Last weekend we had Storm Kira and it was so bad I couldn't film, actually. Like, the rain was so loud, the wind was so loud, it was rattling all the windows, I couldn't get anything done. And so this weekend we've got a smaller version of Storm Kira, we've got Storm Dennis, and that's, you know, that's what you can hear in the background if you can hear it at all. Today we're going to talk about money again. You guys really liked the video that I filmed a couple of weeks ago with 20 things that I don't buy anymore, and I'm so glad that you liked that video because it's the first video that I filmed in a very long time that I felt really good about, and I think I just sort of like found my people. Do you know what I mean? That's how it felt when you guys were like, yes, this is what I needed. I'm just so glad that I've found something that I'm really interested in talking about that you guys are also very, very interested in. So we're gonna talk about how to be better with our money. And these are like the bare basics. This is the very small initial things that I did when I first wanted to get better with my money and was absolutely awful at it. I read a really great book called Unfuck Your Finances, and I'm gonna leave that link down below, both the book or the audiobook if you prefer that. It was just really good and it was instrumental in like changing my mindset when I was being really, really bad with money and wanting to get really, really good at it. So 2020 is the year of unfucking our finances, courtesy of that book title, and I'm just buzzing about it. Even just a year ago, I was absolutely awful with my spending and managing my finances. So I get it. Number one, stop avoiding your bank balance. I've done it, you've done it, everybody does it. You know your balance is low, so you don't check it for several days because if you don't look at it, then it's not there. Stop doing this. I'm speaking from experience. I've done it as well. The longer you leave it without looking at your bank balance, the more anxious you're going to feel to look at it. Make a habit out of logging into your online banking every single day to look at your account. Even if you haven't made a single purchase in the last 24 hours, log in every day. Get into the habit of logging in every day and looking at your bank balance. The more you look at it, the less anxious you're going to be in the long run to see that you've spent X amount of money and now you're in your overdraft, etc., etc. Knowledge is power in all things in life, and so looking at that number, looking at your balance is going to make you a lot more conscious of the money that you're spending every day because you know what that number is. If you don't know what the number is because you've been avoiding it, you're a lot more likely to go and spend money because it doesn't feel like a real number. Sort of weaved in that, number two is get online banking. I can't stress this enough, but making it as effortless as humanly possible to look at your bank balance is going to be a massive factor on whether or not you continue to making the habit of going to look at it. If it's a huge effort for you to log into your account, you have to go to a cash point to look at the balance, or you have to go through a 5-step process with a little pin pad to log in online, you're not gonna do it because you're gonna have the excuse that you're a busy person and you just didn't get around to it. Make it as effortless as humanly possible so you have no excuse. I've talked about Monzo before. I've recently made the full switch to Monzo, and I'll talk more about that later in the video. I'm not sponsored by Monzo, I'm not affiliated with them, they don't know who I am, but if they would like to, I'm available. Tip number three is cut out your habitual spending. Habitual spending is little bits of money that you spend regularly, not necessarily on things that you want or need, but just things that you buy out of habit. This can be anything from takeaways to empty notebooks that you never use. A couple weeks ago I filmed a video of 20 things I don't buy anymore. If you need any ideas of things that maybe you're spending your money on that you haven't thought about before in that sense, then do go watch that video for some inspiration and let me know in the comments of that video what your habitual spending is, because I'd love to know. Number four, the dreaded word, but I'm gonna say it, budget. Budget, budget, budget. Monzo has completely changed my life. I never used to be a budgeting kind of person, mostly because I wasn't looking at my bank balance, so I didn't actually know what money I had to spend, and also that felt very scary and like a very big job that I just didn't even know where to start. So I never did it. I recently made the full swap over, so all of my bills get paid out of my Monzo account, my salary gets paid into my Monzo account, literally all the money that I spend, that I save, everything is in my Monzo and I can see it on a single app on my phone. What Monzo does, and I'm gonna try to explain this as best as I can, is it calculates the amount of money that I'm gonna need to spend in a month on things like rent and bills, and it puts that away so I can't accidentally spend it. And then the bills and the rent get paid out of that pot, so I don't even see that money coming out because it's already been put away for the month for that purpose. And what this means is I can immediately, through a single app on my phone, see all the money that I have that month for things like shopping, travel, seeing my friends, all that kind of thing. And Monzo's a bit like a bully. Every single time you spend any amount of money on your card, you get a notification on your phone saying you've spent this amount of money out of the budget that you set for this thing, and this is how much you have remaining for this specific kind of spending. There you go. If you go over budget, it will tell you every single time that you spend money that you've gone over budget. It just shames you into complying with your own budget, which I find useful. Another thing that's really helpful for savings purposes is you can round up your transactions. So you can have a set pot in your Monzo account that rounds up any spending that you make. So if you spend £2.50 on something, that 50p that would make up the £3 gets put away into that savings pot. And it does this automatically for you. You just see that money kind of roll on and build and go up. So I find that really useful as well. I know this sounds like an ad. It's not. Monzo has so many more functionalities to it that are super helpful that honestly I could make a whole video on it, and I can if you'd like me to. If you'd like for me to show you without showing you my actual balance or my details, obviously. If you want me to show you how I've set up my Monzo and take you through the steps on how I did it and how it's helpful, then do give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if that's a video you would like and I can put it in my schedule. And tip number 5 is going to sound so obvious, but stop impulse buying things. I have a massive problem with this still. I find it very difficult to control myself when I'm having a bad day, or even if I'm just out and it's something that I really love in that moment, I'm like, ah, yes. I still, today, find it very difficult to control myself in that way. I'm a lot better than I was, say, 6 months ago, but I do still struggle with it. There's something really thrilling about buying things. I don't know how else to explain that, but I know that you know what I mean. And I know that stop impulse buying is a really generic kind of statement to make, so I'm gonna tell you how I did it, how I stopped impulse buying, how I am stopping myself impulse buying in 3 steps. 3 steps. Just 3. 3 things. Step number 1 is unsubscribe from all marketing emails. You won't feel tempted to check out an 80% off sale from Misguided if you don't know about it. If you don't see the email, you're not going to feel tempted. So just get it done. Unclog your inbox. That's another great thing that you can do for your own life management anyway. So just go through your inbox and any sort of marketing sales emails that you get, unsubscribe. You don't need it. Just do it. Get it out the way. Don't think that you can get to step number 2 without doing step number 1. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Unsubscribe from the emails. Do it now. Pause the video. Go do it. Step number 2 is let yourself start small. What I would do is I would let myself go window shopping. I'd go to any of my favorite shops and I would let myself impulsively buy something, then not wear it for a week, and then go back and return it. I know that sounds like a fucking waste of time, and it is, but that's part of it. I was letting myself have the thrill of going out and buying something impulsively, but then I was also getting a thrill of seeing that money come back into my account. And slowly I started feeling more of a thrill for returning things than I was feeling a thrill for buying them in the first place. And step number 3 was actually switching my mindset, thanks to step number 2, to getting a thrill out of not spending that money in the first place. Because if you think about it, you're spending money and then, yes, it will be returned to you, but it won't be returned to you for maybe like another 2 weeks. And so I started getting a thrill out of going to a shop, seeing something I like and being like, you know what? No. And that sounds insane. Like, how would I ever have done that a few years ago? No idea. I just wouldn't have done it. So what I do now is I go to a shop, and if I see something that I like, not necessarily need, because obviously if I need something then I'll go and I'll buy it and that's it. But if I'm just browsing and I see something I like, I'll tell myself if I'm still thinking about it in a week's time, if I leave it here, if I leave the shop, and in a week's time I'm still thinking about it, then I will come and buy it. And actually 90% of the time, I forget about it and I never think about it again. This really helped me cut down on the amount of things I buy, but it then also helped me cut down on the amount of time I was wasting in having to go to shops specifically to return things, because that is a waste of time and it is annoying. But if you don't put yourself through it, you don't then have the thrill of not having to do it. Does that make sense? It doesn't. It probably doesn't. If you think like me, then it will make sense to you, and I promise it does work. It worked for me. But these are just 5 really basic, simple, easy things that you can do today to get started on your journey to financial freedom and just being more responsible with your money. This is where you get started in getting yourself to a good financial position so you can pay off your overdrafts, your debts, and eventually get round to saving for really big life things. Wherever you are, whatever your financial position is at the moment, is a good place to start. If I can do it, you can do it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful. I would love to hear more about your own tips down below in the comments, but also let me know what are things that you struggle with in terms of your financial situation, your habitual spending, things that you don't really understand, you don't know how to get started, things that you're stuck on. Do let me know. We can help each other in the comments, have some good financial money conversation. So I'll be down below to have a chat with you guys. I love you very much, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye!